This is Audible.
Living Energy, the Healing Energy Series. Written by Teresa Lindley. Narrated by Kayla Quinn. To Linda, thank you for so generously sharing your wisdom. And to John, who pushed me to get started. Feeling drained? I wish I had more energy to do the things I enjoy. How many times have we heard something similar to this phrase? We frequently use the term energy when referring to our ability to carry out the functions of our daily lives. What do we mean by the term energy in this context? We are not talking about solar, magnetic, or chemical, but a kind of energy that uses these other forces to perform tasks, demonstrate love, learn, communicate, grow, create, and procreate. It is the same energy that gives us motivation to succeed in life and help those we love succeed. I recently moved back to Arizona from Idaho, where I spent a couple of years working with individuals with disabilities. I could not ignore the role energy played in their lives and the lives of those around them. After moving across a big part of the country and spending 2 full days in a moving truck, I was completely wiped out. Even though it was made worse by hunger and lack of sleep, it also felt like a deep psychological tiredness. Some people would say this is the same as being mentally drained, but it affects more than just the brain. The stress of moving diminished my levels of living energy. Anything very stressful can cause living energy levels to sink. In a perfect world, the sleep we get and the relationships we nurture would be enough to boost our living energy. In the real world, though, living energy fluctuates depending on many factors. What is energy? Let's return to the basic definition of energy. The simplest definition is the capacity for activity or the exertion of power. This leaves a lot of wiggle room. We know that energy makes things move and change. It is required in order to walk and talk, care for others, and dance in a club. Since it takes energy to light a city, power factories, and send probes into the depths of space, it is difficult to give it a single definition. Energy comes in many forms, and each form varies in nature, some quite dramatically. Types of energy. Thermal energy is heat. Radiant energy is light. Electrical energy makes the light bulb work. Wind energy can be harnessed by a simple whirlybird. When you squeeze a cold pack and it gets as cold as ice, this is chemical energy. Geothermal, gravitational, elastic, sound, electromagnetic radiation, the list goes on and on. The 2 types of energy. All energy in the universe exists in one of 2 possible states, potential or kinetic. Potential energy is like a child's potential if given the right opportunities. It is unrealized energy. A matchstick has potential energy. A person only needs to strike the match to release its potential energy. Once potential energy has been released, it becomes kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is basically energy in its active state, in motion. Energy can shift between the active state and the kinetic state, but energy is never created out of nothing, nor annihilated. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be changed from one form to another. Albert Einstein. Living energy. The utilization of living energy distinguishes animals and plants from inorganic matter. Living things have the capacity for reproduction, functional activity, communication, and continual evolution. This is the result of living energy. When something is alive, it is a demonstration of living energy in its dynamic state. Living energy is the all-pervasive force with which the universe feels, heals, communicates, and becomes conscious of itself. Like the other types of energy, it can be transferred from one being to another. When someone talks to another person and their voice gives them goosebumps, it is living energy being exchanged. When we meet someone, We either feel comfortable or uncomfortable, even if it is only slightly noticeable. When someone tells a joke on television and it makes someone else laugh, or when a child finishes rereading their favorite book and it makes them smile and drift off to sleep, living energy is being exchanged between individuals. Verbal communication is the human ability to manipulate sound waves in order to transfer living energy. The sun uses all kinds of energy, from gravitational to thermonuclear, to give off solar energy. In the same way, people use all kinds of energy, from magnetic to chemical, as the means for channeling their living energy. As the sun's rays move across the planet, living things begin to awaken. Flowers open, birds chirp, alarm clocks beep, car engines warm up, and the smell of breakfast is in the air. Like the beating of a heart, the planet's living energy puts on its daily show. For a human being, living energy includes his or her physical and mental powers, carrying out an activity, fostering a relationship, making love, caring for family, teaching the next generation, entertaining each other, physical touch, feeding ourselves, etc. These are examples of living energy in its kinetic state. The river will never dry as long as it continues to flow. It was here long before you or me. It will be here forever. Tao of the River 9. Many people believe that living energy is connected to what scientists call dark energy. They are describing an unknown force that makes up as much as 75% of our universe. It was given the name dark energy in 1998 by Dr. Michael Turner, but it is only dark in the sense that so little is known about it. Whether or not it is connected to dark energy, living energy is a scientific marvel. It is often referred to simply as life. It moves invisibly like the wind, radiates heat like the sun, reacts chemically like a palm tree converting sunlight into food, directs electricity like a power grid, and projects a magnetic field like the Earth herself. Objects in outer space play a much more significant role in human behavior than they are given credit for in the modern age. School teachers talk about the full moon openly when they see the changes in their students' behavior. The effects of solar, lunar, and planetary gravity on Earth's living creatures are well documented. All things share the same breath, the beast, the tree, the man. The air shares its spirit with all the life it supports. Chief Seattle attributed. Like the wind. Living energy is the animating force behind all living things on this planet and beyond. Without it, the universe would literally be meaningless. There would be no brain in the universe to give it meaning. Imagine the amazing sights that would go unseen. In this universe, on this planet at least, living energy is everywhere, in and around every plant, animal, and person. It permeates every crevice of the ground you walk on and the water you drink. Internal microbes work together to help keep their host bodies, us, alive. This is just one example of how living energy works. It connects you to your mate, bonds you with your dog, and nourishes you by turning fresh fruits and vegetables into fuel for being beautiful. It can leap thousands of years through the pages of a book, but it can also make you want to focus all of your attention on a toothache. Even though living energy is everywhere, including in the words of this book, we are often blind to it. This is why Lao Tzu told us to bend like a weed in the wind. Tao Te Ching 22. Living energy is like the wind. It is everywhere, yet invisible. Look at the air particles dancing in the sunbeams of your morning window. The air is bursting with matter, energy, and even life, but we are usually completely blind to them. There are so many invisible forces around us. We have evolved the ability to sense things we cannot see with our eyes. Living energy is only partially visible, Our eyes must ignore the billions of air particles and the constant barrage of light waves. If we did not, we would not be able to see anything else. Our mind has learned to ignore most of the effects of living energy, because if we could sense it every moment, we would not be able to sense anything else. Manipulating energy. When you shake the hand of a new acquaintance, you exchange living energy as an unconscious peace offering. You can feel someone's energy through their handshake. Thousands of years ago, mankind learned to manipulate fire. Only a few hundred years ago, mankind harnessed the power of electricity and revolutionized the world. Mankind is just now beginning to experiment on how to effectively manipulate or radiate living energy. In recent years, this topic moved from the realm of the unexplained and took a more scientific approach. When living energy is effectively manipulated, it can do amazing things. In later volumes, I will discuss how we use living energy every day without realizing it. I will give specific examples of how we can use our knowledge of living energy to transform it into healing energy. Teresa Lindley is a life coach and the director of a nonprofit organization serving the needs of individuals with disabilities in northern Arizona. She currently operates an online service dedicated to providing people with the healing energy tools they need. She also counsels those who want to use their healing energy to help others. Living energy is required reading for anyone who wants to understand how living things work. In her landmark book, Reverend Lindley lays a clear foundation for understanding living energy. Her life has been dedicated to helping others to channel their energy into a healthier and more positive future. This has been Living Energy, the Healing Energy Series, written by Teresa Lindley, narrated by Kayla Quinn. Copyright 2018 by Teresa N. Lindley. Production copyright 2018 by Teresa N. Lindley.
Audible hopes you have enjoyed this program.